Welcome everyone to Coffee Conversations from Roofers Coffee Shop. My name is Heidi Ellsworth, and we are here today with a very exciting conversation. And let's just find out why. There we go. We are here with a very exciting conversation. The chat is open as always, and we are ready to talk about Black History Month, honoring Black History Month in roofing. We have such an amazing panel today. Our guests, it is going to be so much fun. So let's first start with a little housekeeping. This is being recorded and it will be available in 24 hours. So be sure to share this out with everyone at your company, with your friends, your family. These kind of conversations are changing not just the industry, but they're changing the world. I'm just going to say that right there, right now. So be sure to get this out there, and the chat is open. As you all know, this is interactive. We want to know where you're from. So tell us where you're at, what type of business you have, and then throughout the conversation, please join with your comments, your thoughts, your questions. This is the kind of information that can really make a difference to your business, and we want to hear from you. I also want to, as always, thank our awesome sponsor, Johns Manville. Johns Manville is doing things in diversity that no one else is. You look at their initiatives, how committed they are, their involvement, and I just want to say thank you to Johns Manville. They're always here for us. They're always making things happen, and just such thought leaders and visionaries for the roofing industry. Thank you, Johns Manville. Okay, let's get started, my friends. Let's start with introductions. So first, I would love to introduce and bring back Ray. Ray, good morning and welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Heidi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I love it. So why don't you give us a little introduction, tell us about yourself and your company and what you do.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ray Fistanich. I am the Director of Business Development at Chinook Building Envelope Services. We're in Fife, Washington, which is just about Tacoma-ish area. I graduated from Arizona State University a long time ago. Roofing chose me. I didn't choose roofing. I absolutely love being in this industry. I'm also serving on the board of directors for National Women in Roofing on the Industry Recruitment Committee. And I'm also on the board for the Master Builders Association of Pierce County, which is the county that our business operates in. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, Ray, we love having you on Coffee Conversations. Thank you so much. This is going to be a great one. We also would like to welcome back Donovan Morgan. Thank you so much for being here and coming back and joining us. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Donovan Morgan, or Roofs by Don. I own Roofs by Don in Atlanta, Georgia. Also own the First Roof Museum that's also here based in Atlanta, Georgia. And we also do sales, marketing, and recruiting with our company Goats for Sales. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm based in Atlanta right now. I was originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and looking to make waves in the roofing industry.
That is great. And anybody who's in Atlanta, Georgia, you got to stop by and visit. We're going to be there this summer, Donovan. So we'll be visiting. Yes. Roofers Coffee Shop in the house. There you go. Okay. And I am so excited to invite and welcome Erica Reed to the show. Erica and I were just on a panel at IRE. Erica, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Heidi. Good morning, everyone. I'm Erica Reed. I'm from Florida, from Tampa, Florida. Moved here in 2014, and I became the first female general manager at 123 Exteriors out of Illinois. 123 Exteriors is now owned by Elite Construction Solutions, and I'm the vice president of construction operations for Elite. When I was a sales rep, that was like 2014, I became the first female general manager. And to this day, I am the only female sales rep in the company to make it after 10 years I've been here now. So I guess the whole company history of 17 years. So just notice that. We specialize in residential and construction, commercial operations, as well as new home building as well. And that's it.
I love it. And I have to tell you, Erica, we've got some great emoji celebrations, hearts going on over here for you. So thank you, whoever's out there doing that. That's awesome. Also some great comments. So welcome to Coffee Conversations. I love it. And Derek, I am so excited to have you here today. Derek and I are on a lot of committees together. We do a lot with the NRCA, and this is just so awesome. So Derek, please introduce yourself and let us know about your company.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Heidi, it's always a pleasure to run into you at every show. So it's, we kind of follow each other as we travel the country together. I've been with USG for 17 years. I'm currently the director of sales for our roofing business. We produce a gypsum cover board for the commercial roofing market. Currently, I reside in Chicagoland. However, I am, I'll say, originally from Belize. Belize is the only English-speaking country in Latin America. So I've spent quite a few years there, and I consider Belize home. So I look forward to going back every opportunity I can.
How beautiful. That's nice. It's a nice place to go home to.
Yeah.
Really good. And we thank you so much, Derek. We have a lot of people out here making comments. I just love this, welcoming everyone. So like I said before, the chat is open. I will be reading from the chat. And so I'm just going to say we've got a lot of people from all different areas, also sending some great vibes out to our guests here. So let's get started. We are here to celebrate Black History Month. And to me, this makes me so happy because I want to celebrate every single part all over the roofing industry. And this is such an important, rich culture within roofing that we want to only grow. And so let's start with how we see Black history intersecting with roofing. And Ray, I would love to start with you. Kind of where do you what are you seeing right now? What's the intersection, and how can, I'm just going to jump into it. How can we do better?
I think that what we have to go back to is the beginning, where during slavery, a lot of structures were built. And who do you think built them? A lot of roofs were installed, and who were they installed by? Right? The slaves. So when we talk about Black history and how important it is to the roofing industry, there's a foundation, especially when going through American history, there's a foundation there. You can go all the way back to how the pyramids were built. Again, there were slaves who built the pyramids. So Black history is American history, and it is important when we talk about the roofing industry, the building industry. Some of the leading architects are Black people. Some of the top inventors for the products we use are Black people. And so it shouldn't be something that is only talked about or only shine a spotlight on this one little segment of the year. It's something that we really need to start thinking about more as part of our history as a whole. And also remembering that there's room for everyone in this industry, regardless of your gender or the color of your skin or your religious beliefs. There's room for everyone. And we need to be a little bit more welcoming of those people.
I love it. There is so much room because this is such a great industry and we need talent, and talent is what we're looking for. Erica, how do you see all this intersecting?
As Ray stated, when you look at who was in the house and who was outside working, it was us, right? It was African Americans, it was Black people, it was the slaves that built this country. And it's ours just as well as anybody else's. Slaves built the White House, they built Harvard Law School, the Capitol in DC, the Smithsonian, and many people don't even know about that. They also built Wall Street in New York. So we've always been an integral part of the roofing industry as a whole, and we do need to be more inclusive. And I think having people like those of us that are on this call is going to help with that in the future. And we will continue to be a part of American history as it relates to the roofing industry.
Yeah, I love that. Donovan, what do you think?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, definitely to add to that, I just feel like the main thing is representation. So just like Erica said, basically just having people on being represented, letting people be aware of what's going on. And I think people on this call having these kind of conversations is what's gonna have people, Black people, know that this is an industry that is welcoming for us.
Yeah, I think that's so true. You know, that's I have to say is when we think about it, the more we open up the conversations, the more we are welcoming, the more we're having these kind of discussions. I just think it's then pretty soon we're kind of like, yeah, of course. What are we thinking? So Derek,
It can be like
I
a gold
mean,
rush.
yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's a gold rush. Derek, I mean, you work so much in the commercial real estate. I mean, just that high end, like we were saying, Wall Street, the buildings, everything across the country with USG. What are you seeing, and how is this intersecting?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? As we talk about the buildings that are prominent today, right? And some of us may not look back and think, hey, how many decades ago when they were built by slaves and built by African Americans, and here they are still standing today, right? So as we fast forward to the future, how do we continue to recognize that, acknowledge that, and continue to build on that, right? So that's what I expect to see, is continue to build on that, as you show here, surrounding the Black architects who shaped America, and how do we continue that that trend moving forward surrounding African Americans and what all we bring to the building industry. I think it's absolutely amazing what we've done in the past, and how do we just continue to grow on that into the future.
Yeah, I love it. And I think, and there's inspirations. I mean, this slide that we have up right now, Ray and Erica brought this to us with, really talking about the pioneering Black architects, how much they've done, talking about the White House and everything, the Capitol. So Ray, we want to talk a little bit about inspirations. And this was one of the things that you had mentioned. So talk to us a little bit about first your inspiration, or historical figures who inspire you.
So there's quite a few who've inspired me. But for me, it's people like Angela Davis. There's a woman who persevered. And when you look back throughout history, there's a lot of marginalized people who we talk about, and the core of who they are is perseverance. Many times they were told no, many times they were beaten. They had things taken from them that they worked really hard for, but they persevered. John Lewis, I use his mantra of good trouble quite a bit, because I love getting into good trouble. That's my favorite thing, right? And when we look at these people who are very historic in the shaping of who we are as a society and as a country, it really is about perseverance. And it says here on the slide, perseverance paved the way. They didn't give up. Even though there were so many times when they could have given up, they said, no, I'm not giving up. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to keep going, because they were thinking about the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And all of us on this panel, every day we show up with a responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to our culture. And we show up and we persevere, because we do it for our children, our children's children, our friends' children, and that generation that keeps coming after us.
I love that, Ray. I resonate so much with that, right? We all have made it to where we're at today because of perseverance, right? And we can't stop, right? We just have to keep pushing forward. And as you said, right, we don't just do it for us or our household. We do it for the people that look like us as well, right? So I really do appreciate you saying that.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Okay. I want to go to Erica on this, people who have inspired you, and then we're gonna but there is someone who we just saw, or you just saw at IRE, and I mean this is just such a great story to talk about being inspired. So kind of share this story. I mean, because it's, yes, it's history, but it's also what's happening today, right now.
So one of the people that really inspires me, she's not in the roofing industry. She also happens to be a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, which is my sorority. Um, and I met her at a leadership conference during Women in the C-Suite conference. And it made me very emotional just listening to the women on the panel stories, because they were all Black women, but I was the first Black CEO of Starbucks. There was Rosalind Brewer, CEO of Walgreens, and Janelle Ross was also on that panel. We were supposed to connect. We ended up not connecting, but I was with her in Vegas, which is what Heidi's talking about. Got a chance to sit down and speak with her. Look her up, Jennell Ross. Bob Ross was her dad, and he was the only Black Mercedes dealer in the country. And he was the president of Bob Ross Auto Group in Centerville, Ohio. Janelle is now the president of that auto group, and she's held the position since 2010. She's the only African-American in the first generation, well, second generation Mercedes-Benz dealership owner. That is huge. She's always been in male-dominated fields, kind of like myself, and it is tough as a Black woman to be in certain environments that may be not used to seeing someone that looked like you. She told a story about going to a dealership conference, and her mentor, like mine, was a white male also. And people said to him, "What is she doing here? She doesn't belong here." And his response was, "She outsells all you guys." So it's kind of the same thing with me. But we have to celebrate, the new generation of people that are making history. So I didn't really want to focus on someone in the past. Janelle Ross is amazing. Make sure you guys do the research and look her up. She also owns Buick and GMC brands, and tried to, steer me from my car to a Mercedes as well. So she's a good salesperson.
I love it. I love it. This is the kind of stuff is so cool. So Donovan, who is
Yes.
what has been your inspiration? Who has been some either historically or today who've inspired you? Because you are creating something pretty amazing.
Thank you, thank you. It's gonna sound funny, but as far as for my inspirations, I like music a lot. Obviously, you see, we have like a theme song every single day, and my real inspirations, are Jay-Z, 50 Cent, and really the moguls of the hip hop industry. That was my first inspirations, and I felt like, and Michael Jordan, LeBron James. And I feel like really the reason why is because they are the best in their fields, and they strive to be the best of the best. And I feel like with me, I'm real competitive. So I like to be the best of the best as well. So I try to mimic the things that the best of the best do, so that way I can be on that level. So whether it's with me, for instance, say making the roof museum, the roof gallery. The reason for that is because I felt like the roofing industry didn't have somewhere that highlighted the best of the best, or a Hall of Fame. So we had to make it. So that's the purpose for that. I felt like, the best of the best are usually on TV or things like that. So, that's why we have like the reality show or the theme song. So I feel like looking at people in different industries that are really excelling kind of helps, me in my own industry.
Bringing it back into roofing. Bringing the best. I love it. Derek, what are your inspirations, and whether historically today, what do you have?
Yeah, mine's I guess maybe not so historic, but for me it's Muhammad Ali. I do look at what he's done, what he's been through as an inspiration, and keep pushing forward. Everyone that kind of been around me has seen my screensavers across everything, and it's basically impossible is nothing, which comes from Muhammad Ali. And it just that phrase and the overall message surrounding that continues to drive me every day surrounding the challenges that are faced, just in regular daily life and work life and so on and so forth. It just gives me that extra boost to keep pushing, right? That, hey, impossible is nothing and I can do it. So that, for me, that's my inspiration.
That is so cool. So we had a great question come in from Mark. Good morning, Mark. Thank you for being here. He said, great panel and great topic this morning. Thank you for doing this. My question is, what unique challenges or opportunities have you encountered as a Black professional in the roofing industry, and how have you navigated them? So Derek, I'm going to start with you on that one, and then we'll work through everybody. But some unique challenges, and how have you navigated them?
Yeah, I'd say for me, doing a little bit of going back to college, I graduated with a degree in physics, and I was the only person that looked like me in my graduating class, right? And fast forward to the working world and the roofing world, it's great to see every day more and more people that look like yourself, right? But it's still far and few in between. So I would say in regards to that end of it, and it's always great to see someone that you can speak the same language per se, right? You understand each other a little bit more. You've kind of been through similar things and so on and so forth. I think it's always good to be able to see that and relate to someone here. So, being on this panel today is important, right? And being able to meet everyone here is important. So I look forward to meeting you all in person someday in the near future. But for me, that's kind of one of the challenges out there. Is just it's far and few in between.
Yeah, that
I think to add to that, I feel like as far as challenges wise is just like just like Derek was saying, as far as usually being the only one in the room, or few between. But I feel like also when you are the only one in the room, it's like you are the main representative for like the whole Black culture, because so it's like anything you do is like, oh, it's Black people, and at the end of the day, just like people, just like everything, everyone is different. Everyone has their own personalities. Me, Derek, Erica, Ray all have different personalities. And I feel like one of the main things is being able to try to show our differences without being bunched up into one group always.
Mhm.
Yes, I think that is such a great comment, Donovan,
Yeah.
both, and Derek. I love it. Ray, what are some of your thoughts on challenges? Unique challenges or opportunities in roofing, and kind of how you're navigating that?
I feel like we're all going to have the same answer here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to build on what Derek and Donovan said. As a woman, as a Black woman, I have to be my own tone police. I have to watch what I say and how I say it, because I'm a very passionate person. And so when I am, talking about something, I talk a lot with my hands sometimes, and my voice goes up a little bit. I have to worry about being labeled the angry Black woman. When I ask specific questions, I hear things like I'm intimidating. Now, others can do exactly what I've done, and it's, oh, you're having a bad day, or it's okay. But when I do it, and I'm always having to think about those things, like how I show up every day, right? Because as Donovan said, when I get up every day, I'm representing for an entire race. Because if I make a mistake, then it's not Ray made this mistake. It's like, oh, here, Black women. And it's frustrating as hell.
Yeah.
But you know what? Again, it goes back to persevering. I'm not the first person who's going to go through it. I'm not the last person who's going to go through it. And it's just how you persevere. And there's luckily now we have, DEI committees within some of these associations in roofing that really helps a lot of leaders navigate understanding what diversity, equity, and inclusion really means, and how to not, I don't want to say integrate, but how to communicate with people who are not like you, and understanding that it's not a one size fits all approach. We're all from different walks of life.
So true. I mean, that's across the board is yes. Erica.
To piggyback off of everybody, and like Ray said, we're gonna pretty much have a similar answer. She's 100% correct. And in the chat, Maya asked, why do you have to carry the burden for all in your demographics? Unfortunately, that's what it is. Somehow, throughout history, and I believe this was Thomas Jefferson who said it, Black people were lazy, but we were the ones doing all the work. So how is that narrative possible? So because we know that that narrative is out there and we carry the burden of the whole race, many of us tend to overwork ourselves just to prove who we are. And it's not fair, you know, when some of our counterparts may do less work than we do, but get more glory than we do. Ray mentioned like the tone, you know, that label of angry Black woman. Everybody has bad days, right? No matter what your race is, whatever your gender is, it does not matter. Everybody is entitled to a bad day. However, passion is mistaken for aggressiveness when it comes to Black women. I've said things in a manner where it was just, I'm passionate about what I do. I'm serious about the millions and millions of dollars I'm responsible for. And I can get up in front of a room and tell you what I need you to do, how I need you to do it, because it's important to me. I cannot fail, right? Someone else can give the same message, but they are passionate and I was aggressive and I'm rubbing people the wrong way. Personally, doesn't matter to me. I'm here to do a job. I'm going to do it. Nobody's going to stop that. But this is some of the things that we encounter, just being African Americans in the field.
Yeah. And you know, I think a lot of when you're looking at that, I can relate to that so much, Erica, because you know, I get passionate and some people are, that's scary when it's, you know, when it's we're changing how people, the perceptions, we're changing where we're going. I do want to say here, I just want to read a couple of these comments because I just think they're so great. So from Joe, he said, Janelle is a beast in the auto industry, almost convinced me to go with Mercedes. If I ever buy one, it'll definitely be through her dealership. So I thought I wanted to go back to that because I just thought that was great comment. And we have Donovan Courtney said that sounds like an amazing playlist of your inspiration of your folks. So we had a question from Diana. And you know what, Diana, I just don't want you to think I'm going to skip over this. We're going to come back to this because we've got a lot of actually ideas, but because she wants to know how to get others in the room. What do you do to get other African Americans interested in the industry? And so we're going to talk, we've got some pretty cool ideas here that they're going to talk through here in just a minute. Maya, and thank you, Erica. Why do you carry the burden in your demographic? I relate, having to outwork to prove worth. Very great. We have a question. How can we work with the next generation coming into the workforce to change this narrative? I think that's an awesome question, Lily. And in fact, just so everyone knows, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the next gen. So we're bringing the next gen on as a panel. And I believe Lily, hopefully I'm not putting you on the spot, but Lily may be one of our next gen guests. So how do we change that narrative? So Donovan, let's start with you. What's your thoughts?
Yes. I think basically just showing one that roofing is cool. You know, so that's one of the main things. Right now I feel like there's like a narrative on roofing, you know, the old person with construction boots on, you know, and with the narrative as far as it not being as trustworthy. Like when you look on BBB or you look on Angie's List, it's usually like the #1 scam, you know. So I feel like one, showing that it's a trustworthy business, showing that it's something that could be fun and that is something that kids or the youth can see themselves doing. So usually, for instance, with us, what we do is we went to the Construction Ready event in Skills USA. Yeah. Exactly, it was at the George World Congress Center. There was middle schoolers there, high schoolers there, you know, people ready to get into the workforce. And we try to be what's called dream facilitators. So with basically trying to impact the youth and showing them that there's things that they can do in whatever they like to do that they can also incorporate into the roofing industry. So like, for instance, with us, with the Roof Gallery, we have a media room. In our media room, we do podcasts. We have, if people like to, we're in Atlanta, so it's like Black Hollywood. So everybody likes to do music, they like to act, they like to do things like that. So they're able to use it, and we're able to help them. So in that way, the roofing industry is enhancing their dreams. It's a way where they can also do other things as well, So to show them that it's not a dead end. It's not after their dreams are done, now I'm a roofer. It's more like, I'm a roofer, and this is also going to enhance whatever else I like to do as well.
You have a lot of musicians who work for you, right, Donovan?
I do.
I know.
Like I
so
said,
do I.
Atlanta's like Black Hollywood. So we have a lot of people that like, music, that like reality shows, modeling, things that young people like to do, especially when they're just coming out and they're creative. So we like to tap into their creative mindsets and help them out. We have people that like clothes, so we support them. We show them how to do trade shows, for their clothes, things like that. And so that way, again, it's more like a family thing, and roofing is the engine that helps, drive everything else.
I love that. I love that. Erica, thoughts on how can we work work with the next generation coming into the workforce to change this narrative?
So Donovan, you forgot to mention the most important thing. Donovan has a rap song about roofing.
Yeah.
Every single day.
That's how you get the generation through being, and he is also the social media guru of roofing. So I think just exposing, like the things you do are fun. It's not necessarily all hard work. So continuing to do that is going to help us. And we're going to talk a little bit later about how we're trying to get the children in the industry at a young age. Most of parents, if you guys are on the call, in the chat, convince your children to go into construction. It is the way to build generational wealth. And for some reason throughout history, people have looked at roofers as just poor construction workers. They're dirty, they're on the side of the road, but they are smart. They are engineers, they are architects, they are building. The most important thing that you own, your most important asset, is your house, right? We had to put a roof on your house. You had to be pretty smart so your roof doesn't cave in your house. So convince your children to get into this industry, and we are here to help. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later during the webinar.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Derek, changing the narrative with the next generation.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, what Donovan and Erica said is exactly it, and I think, what, this right here that we're doing today is a part of that, right? So bringing that message forward, and having this panel and celebrating Black history with Roofers Coffee Shop, I think it starts here today. And the message that both Donovan and Erica have given are exactly what the audience and the next generation needs to hear. So thank you.
Yeah. Honored. Ray.
Oh, I agree with what they all said.
Yeah.
That's exactly how we do it. I mean, it's the simplest of formulas, right? We have to make this fun. Roofing is fun. It's not a boring job. And we have to also understand that roofing is not just about installing product outside. There are scientists, there's architects, there's so many different aspects to the roofing industry that we have to start sharing, because if we don't, then they don't know what it is about. They're just looking at the guy who comes in the work truck with the ladder rack and he's tired at the end of the day. That's the image that we have built for when it comes to roofing. We need to change our image.
And you know what, Ray, I would love for you, let's take this moment and talk a little bit about also changing the marketing of the roofing industry, right? And you have done that. You have been instrumental with National Women in Roofing. And a couple of years ago, you said, we've got to change. Why would someone want to be involved if they don't see anyone who looks like them? Right.
Exactly.
And so talk about that, because I think that's so critical.
So a little bit of backstory. When about 4 years ago, I was approached and asked to be more involved with NWIR. And, I was told, they're starting a DEI committee, and, they'd love for me to be on that committee and help lead the DEI initiative. Immediately, I said, no, I don't want to be the token Black girl. Like, I'm not going to do it. And then I had a conversation with someone and he said to me, you complain a lot about not seeing people who look like you in this industry. How do you think you're going to see people who look like you if you're not willing to be the martyr and step up and put your face out there and be the change you wish to see, right? It's easy for us to armchair quarterback and complain about everything that's not being done, but we've got to step up and be out there, right? And so I stepped up and said, yes, I'm going to lead. And the first thing I said is NWIR needs to change our imaging. We need to change our website. We need to change our marketing materials, because when this brown girl looks at it, I don't think I belong.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be recruiting other people who look like us on this panel and other minorities into this industry, we've got to start showing them the diversity that this industry truly has.
And it's there. The diversity is there. I mean, it's just like when we started National Women in Roofing, they're like, well, there's not that many women in roofing. I'm like, you would be surprised, because they're all my friends. And we brought it together, and it's the same thing. It's like we need to, for everyone, for all different ethnicities. I never can say that word. But we need to come together and like have the NRCA, I know they're working on it, to change the marketing image to show the beauty of the culture of roofing in all across the spectrum for all minorities. Donovan.
And to add to that, just as far as for Black History Month, so Roofers Coffee Shop is actually the first I ever seen to actually like do like a podcast as far as for Black History Month. So big props for that.
Thanks.
We actually just did our second annual Black History Month event. It was on February 1st, as far as the Roof Gallery Summit. So we are out there as far as having Black History Month events and trying to get everyone that is tastemakers in the industry, you know, to connect and to network. We had like Manaya, for instance, with Certainty that was there.
Yeah.
We had the mayor of Mableton that was there. So we are starting it. I think it's just podcasts like these just to bring out the awareness so people know that, look, there are things that's going on. And even the Black History Month event that we just had, it was mainly contractors from out of state as well. So it's just about bringing the awareness and just getting the ball rolling. So we started, we arrived, we're here now. So now just getting the word out.
Yeah. And go ahead. I was going to say, and we're all involved in associations. We're all involved in different associations, right? And pushing that out, pushing that, hey, we don't, sorry, and I'm not going to, this is not, but we don't need to have all the same white men across the brochures or the websites or anything. Let's show the beauty of the culture of the industry all the way through. And so we have people, I mean, we have so many comments, chats here. So we have some great things. A similar question too was, and I think we just kind of answered it, but I want to recognize the question from Aaron is how to change the perception of angry Black women. And if you're the only one in the room, company who also doesn't like being mislabeled, thanks for the great panel. So she just wanted to say that. And I think we've kind of answered is stepping out and having these conversations and saying, you know, everybody has a bad day. And sometimes it's not even a bad day. It's just being passionate. It's just being, you know, and standing up for yourself. So thank you all for being the change we must see. My Ted has his 2 stepsons starting in the business. Then, Erica, good. You're answering. Gosh, this is so great. Recommend. Okay, we want to get a little bit, and I'm checking the time. We're going to get into the recruiting because that's what everybody's asking about. And I did have one comment here that I want to read, and that is from IKO. And
IKO
yeah. Happy to be a part of this morning's conversation. Just wanted to say everyone at IKO is beyond proud and appreciative of your partnership with Donovan and Erica over the years. Donovan and Erica are truly trailblazers in the roofing industry and are inspirational to future generations.
Thank you so much.
I love that. Okay.
IKO loves you back.
Yeah.
I love it. and we talked about we had some questions about mentors, and so we did talk a little bit about that. Let's go to recruiting because I want to make sure we get some great time in here for that. So I'm going to share our screen again, and we're going to talk a little bit about historically Black colleges and universities. And Erica, I'd love to start with you just on getting involved, recruiting, how the roofing industry can be a bigger part of this, and walk the talk.
All right. So because I attended the best historically Black college and university, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University in Tallahassee, Florida, that's where I want to start first. So I talked to my president last year about reaching out to some HBCUs, also high schools as well, to kind of get into their construction programs or even their engineering and architectural programs to start recruiting, not necessarily women, but just all African-American students, just to expose them to the industry. Many people don't even know about the storm industry. I had no idea until I moved up here. So I want to put, the history of our industry out, and then begin recruiting, recruitment fairs, hiring interns, providing internships for students, and then possibly hiring them straight out of college. I met with Congressman Reed Ribble on the ICO Bahamas trip. And thanks, ICO, by the way. And we talked about building programs or trade courses within high schools. I realized that since I graduated from high school, a lot of those programs are gone. We had automobile, we had shop, we had woodwork for carpentry as well, business courses, and they've gone out of the high schools due to funding. So we talked about possibly partnering with some of our manufacturers to see if they would provide the funding for us to go into these schools. And if the schools understand they're not responsible for it financially, then they may let us come in. So I'm going to reach out to others in the industry. We can get, some of these high schools that will allow us into their campuses to teach the courses, to build a bigger program across the nation. So that is the goal. I know Ray also spoke about, I think it was a school in Washington maybe that people weren't really aware of. So she can elaborate on that a little bit more, where they offer free construction courses.
Yeah, so one of the things GAF has a roofing academy here that offers free classes from installation to understanding the sales side. It's a program that really has been helpful. I've also joined the advisory board for my kids' school district for the career and technical education program. And I go into the high schools and I talk to freshmen to seniors, and I talk to them about the roofing industry and what I do and how to get involved. Our company is starting a job shadow and internship program where we can bring students in to either job shadow or intern with us as well.
I love it.
I have also started being invited into elementary schools in Chicagoland. I know last year I did a career fair with some elementary students, brought some construction gear out, hard hats and things of that nature, and they had a ball playing with it. So just getting them interested. And I know I talked to you before, but one of the young women said, I didn't know women that look like you were in construction. I thought you had to look like a man to be in construction. And I said, no, you don't, because I get on the roof with my red lipstick on, dressed up. I just put the appropriate shoes on. So there is no specific look that you have to have. And I think that a lot of kids, mostly females, don't think about the industry because of the perception that you have to be a man or be strong or look like a man. Obviously not. So I think we just have to get that out there more and be present in our communities.
Yeah. And show that
same.
It's welcoming to everyone. So Donovan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just think the same thing. I think the main thing is just representation and just showing that what everyone is saying, that there's different kinds of people. So really like what Erica just said, she could put on her lipstick You know, she can
Yeah.
still be a girly girl and still put on her cougar paws to be on the roof, you know? It's same thing like with me. I have a lot of saleswomen that's on our team. So some of them don't even have to necessarily climb roofs. They can fly drones. So it's letting them be aware of the different positions that they can have in the industry and showing people that there's a way where they can get in where they fit in, you know? And showing again that it can be cool, impacting the youth. So recruiting the young kids. So like I said, with the Construction Ready, since going to that event, we've had a lot of, because we have the roof gallery and we have the museum set up, we actually do VIP tours. So we have people that's going to be coming from different classes. They schedule tours and they'll be doing a tour at our roof gallery where we do demonstrations. We have virtual reality goggles, things like that. But again, it's just making it fun and showing them that you can look like anything. So you can be the old guy, or you could be someone in designer clothes, or you can be someone in regular clothes. You can like fishing, you can like basketball, you can like music, and all in all, you can still be a roofer.
So cool.
One thing you said, talking about the different positions within the industry, we need estimators. You know, you don't have to
Yes.
get on the roof. We
We
need
need a shingle designer.
Yeah, we need administrative people to check in the jobs. You have to know roofing in order to know how many bundles of shingles are in the square. We teach you that, but there's a lot of other jobs other than you having to be outside to build a roof. And we have to just make sure we are educating the people on this information.
We need a Black owner of a distribution company,
Yeah.
a Black owner of just every little position, every single position. There should be someone that is representation of that as well, you know? So that's what we should be looking at. With me at first, when I just got into it, I didn't really see a lot of Black owners. Once I got into social media, then I had other Black owners come out and say, hey, I never saw Black owners until you. You know, we're all just looking at, you know, like that Spider-Man meme, we're all just pointing at each other like, hey,
Yeah.
I never seen, you know? So I mean, at the end of the day, again, it's just having the representation, you know, putting it out there, and I feel like everyone will gravitate to that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly it, right? Just getting that message out there, right? Whether it's through the college or the high school, as you said, Donovan, social media, just getting it out there, and you know that will draw people in. You know, my daughter, she's a senior in high school, and she was a part of a career type class, and I met with the teacher and I said, well, are you guys going to expand this into construction, right? And get some kids out there and learning different trades and so on. And it seemed like it was a part of their future. So I'll have to check back in with the teacher just to see how myself, you or she can get involved in that. And, you know, just getting that message out there surrounding, hey, it's a lot of fun. You can do so many different things. You're not just out there putting shingles on a roof, right? There's so many different high-paying jobs that you can do in this industry.
You can make the next roofing boot.
You can, absolutely.
I need a sneaker deal.
There you go.
I love it. And you know, there's things that you can do right now and ways of, you know, like what Ray was saying on talking about National Women Roofing and getting involved. We want to talk a little bit about the Black Building Envelope. Nigel, I know you're on here. Thank you for putting yourself forward. We're going to have you on this coffee shop, and hopefully I'll see you at IBEC. But the Building Envelope professionals, and Ray, you've been talking to Nigel, you've been involved. I mean, Derek, I think you've been involved a little bit. This is something that's happening right now, and within the building envelope space. Talk a little bit about this, because this is the kind of stuff that we need people to get involved.
Yeah, so their mission is really to significantly increase the representation of Blacks and all other underutilized groups in the building envelope profession. BBEP promotes access to opportunities in the building envelope profession through workforce development, entrepreneurship, education, networking, and advocacy. The primary goal is provide a place for community network, continuous education units, job opportunities, and career development within the building envelope industry. It's not just for Black people, but also other minorities in the building envelope space and those who want to do business in the building envelope sector. So whether you're a roofing contractor, an architect, a waterproofing consultant, manufacturer, you know, formerly incarcerated, students interested in the industry. You know, it's for everyone. But really this space was created to shine a light on those of us who are part of, you know, those of us who are Black and in the building envelope sector. They have a big website launch that comes summer of 2024. So, you know, this is a little bit of snip of what to expect on the website, but I'm pretty excited to see what comes of it.
I think and so one of the questions I want to make sure we answer here is, you know, that we've been talking about allies and advocates, even mentors. What are your thoughts on sponsors? Are you aware of of basically people sponsoring other Black professionals, minorities, the whole, making them feel welcome and sponsoring and bringing them into the industry? And then of course, my mind goes out to what Erica was talking about, and that's also putting some money behind what we're talking about and helping with the sponsorships, helping getting this out. So would love some thoughts on to answer that question, but also to, you know, getting involved with Black Building Envelope, getting involved with National Women in Roofing, getting involved maybe even new chapters, Donovan, that, you know, as we're talking about how are we bringing people together? What are some of the things that we can do? So Donovan, since I just said your name, let's start with you.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like just awareness. I feel just at the end of the day, with these, so like you say, chapters, getting these groups, is really just bringing it out. As far as with us, what I can say personally, so we have the Roof Museum. It's a 501(c), so it is a nonprofit, you know, and just like we have like the Black History Month events, we're trying to be able to you know, make platforms for people to basically connect, have a voice, be inspired, and excel.
Yeah, I love it. Derek, what are your thoughts about being that mentor, that sponsor to other young Black professionals and helping them, you know, get involved in the
Yeah.
industry?
No, I love that. You know, mentorship, being able to, hey, someone has done this before, right? And I can, you know, guide you surrounding, hey, this may be an easier way or a better way or something like that to get to where you want to go. I am all for mentorship. You know, Nigel and I, we actually spoke about the Black Building Envelope Professionals last year at IBEC. And so I'm looking forward to having a little bit more discussion surrounding that next week. And you know, so I think it's great. I think that mentorship is important. It's important for everyone to have some type of mentorship as we, you know, just go throughout this industry. And there's people that have done it before, so why not learn from them?
I love it. Ray?
Mentors can come in all shapes and sizes. My mentor in this industry were two white men. And I remember my first year, I'm now 10 years into the industry, but my first year in, our CEO, who's a white male, came to me and said, "What do you want to do here?" And, you know, I jokingly said, "Teach me everything you know." And he goes, "Okay, starting Monday." And I was like, what did I get myself into? But he hasn't let up. He's been my mentor. He's been by my side. And all of these opportunities that I've, you know, gotten really was not just because of his mentorship, but because in my mind, I knew that I didn't want to be stagnant. I wasn't going to ever be comfortable just being in the same spot forever. Growth is painful. And growth comes with discomfort. And if you're comfortable where you are, then you're not going to grow. And a lot of us on this panel have all gone through different phases in this industry where we started. If Erica's story is, you know, prime example, right? Proof of concept, where she started in the industry and where she is today. Donovan and Derek and myself and Heidi, even you, we all have these stories of starting at an entry level, and now we're leaders within our organization. It didn't come from us just sitting back and, you know, just doing nothing. It came from hard work. It came from mentorship. And again, mentorship doesn't always have to be someone who looks just like you. You may be in an area where you don't have someone who looks like you. You may be the only one in the room, but how are you networking? How comfortable are you reaching out to people? You know, these associations are a great way to network. Some of my best friends I've made are through NWIR. Lifelong friends are through NWIR, because, you know, I realize that there's something of substance that I'm gaining from being a member of this association. And I think if you step out and join some of these associations, you can find your mentors there.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. I just love it. I'm inspired. Erica, I know we're getting down to it, but one thing you and I talked about that I just think is kind of powerful is you and I were talking about, okay, let's let the historically Black universities and colleges that you're involved with, you're so involved, that have construction management schools, let's let them know about the Roofing Alliance student competition, right? I mean, sometimes this is those small things that we don't think about. And I know you and I are going to work on that to get that information out to the construction management schools. But we also had a question here on same thing. What if someone comes out from Sarah? Thank you. If someone comes out of high school and they're interested in getting into construction trades, where would you send them? How do you take those first steps? So Erica, what's some of your, I'm going to wrap this up with you. What's your thoughts?
If there's someone straight out of high school that wants to work and start where I started in sales, we will hire them. We have Joe Cook, our VP of sales, can put his email address in the box. I think he's on this call. That's kind of my partner. You know, we mentor each other, we help each other, but we're hiring now. They don't have to be 21 to get a job. Some of our best canvassers were straight out of high school. They can start there, and then he is very good at teaching them the steps that it takes to be successful. He will have your child making more than an anesthesiologist's salary before they hit 30 years old. He's that serious about what he does. I'm no longer on the sales side, but they can start there. But the same thing in operations. We have quality control positions that are open, and we can teach them. They don't have to have experience in construction. I didn't. They don't have to have, you know, a degree or even a trade. We can teach them what we need to teach them, because once again, there's other parts to the construction industry than being a roofer, where they need the technical skills. However, we work with our partners, our manufacturers. We can get that training as well from those who have physically done the job. So we can grow, you know, a student from high school age through their next decade in the industry, and they may end up where I am. But you have to come to us first, but we can definitely make that happen.
I tell you what, every single student out there is welcome. And we want them to come into roofing.
Nationwide. And
Nationwide.
high school students, let us know.
That's it. And so, Sarah, if you want to get connected, obviously, with any of these folks or anybody on here, you can just Heidi at rooferscoffeeshop.com. I will connect you. We'll network. Check out our classified ads on Roofers Coffee Shop. A lot of people have ads on there for jobs. They just need to know everyone is welcome. Everyone, everyone, everyone. So, wow, this has been the fastest hour, I think, of my life. And you
Time
all
flies when you're having fun.
I know you all
Yeah.
are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being on here and for being such inspirations in the roofing industry. I can't say it enough. Thank you. This means the world to us at Roofers Coffee Shop.
This is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank
for giving
you.
us a platform.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
They're
all
listening to
year,
this
Black
rap
History
song.
all year long. Yes,
I
not just 1 month.
This month we had our coffee black.
Yeah, there we go. Or our tea.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage everybody, if you're going to the IBEX show next week, stop by the Roofers Coffee Shop booth, look for Nigel and talk about the Black Building Envelope profession. This is one very solid way that you can be involved and start doing something and giving back to people, so many people, and also get involved with NRCA, all of your different groups. There are National Women in Roofing. There's so much we can do. We just all need to come together. I want to thank Johns Manville again. Wow, Johns Manville, you are amazing for sponsoring this. And I have to tell you, we are also going to celebrate Hispanic Heritage in the fall. So, and then we also have Pride Month in June. So I'm telling you what, everyone is welcome on the coffee shop. And we are going to have a great day. Thank you so much. Join us 2 weeks from now. I have to tell you, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be on an airplane. So Megan
Mhm.
Ellsworth and the next generation are taking over the coffee conversations, and it will be great. So find out what they're thinking and how you can recruit them, because they will definitely tell you what to think. If you have any questions that we didn't get to, there's a lot of chat in here. I can't tell you how much I thank you. Just let us know. We'll catch up with you all, and have a great week and a great weekend. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Ooh, raise the roof.
There you go.